Do you often go out alone? It doesn't matter where. Cinema, cafe, gym, or maybe you have someone to go with but lack the confidence to call them along. If you think you're just unsociable, you might be right, but more likely you're just worried about what others will think of you. That's why you don't go out alone but always call someone with you. Or you're shy and scrap plans to go out if no one invites you. After all, you're afraid you'll be turned down for going out together. I used to be a recluse like that too. I thought I had my world and they had theirs. I didn't give a damn about them. But the truth is, I'd go anywhere if I was invited or if I could get someone to go with me. And what I want to tell you today is how to enjoy life in sociality, not suffer from sociality. It's important to apply each point because it's like a mosaic. If you don't apply one point, you won't get the mosaic together. Man is a social being, so your desire to be in company is quite normal and a good sign that there is nothing wrong with you. The fact that you are shy to go out alone is normal. Not everyone is born to get along with everyone and win invitations, but I have a way for you to overcome your fear of judgment. The way is simple but effective. Just listen to what I say and realize your life is your only opportunity to enjoy your time here on Earth, and every time you think about what others will say about you, you are wasting time. First minutes, then hours, days, weeks, months, years. Before you know it, your life's gone, and you don't give a damn what anyone else thinks. You don't have much time left, and now you either do something regardless of others' opinions or die with regret. I don't think you fully understand, do you? Let me explain for the dummies. People's opinions may change an infinite number of times, but your actions are forever, and if you let someone else's opinion take away your ability to do what you want to do and how you want to do it, you're only betraying yourself. And wouldn't life be wasted then? Here's an assignment for you. Tomorrow, go and buy a coffee from a takeaway coffee shop. A day later, buy a coffee locally and drink it there. Another day, buy a coffee and drink it sitting next to strangers on a bench. If you're afraid that someone will say you're disturbing them with your coffee, which smells really bad, and then snatch your cup and throw it away afterwards, are you serious? No, of course not. No one would do that. He doesn't care about you at all, and neither does anyone else. Even if you throw a banquet in the middle of the park, all your limitations are in your head, and if you don't want to spend the rest of your life alone on the couch at home, go out alone more often. Okay, now let's break down the problem with the invitation and what to do after the invitation. That's pretty simple too. You just need to text someone with an offer to go out together and wait for a reply. If you get an agreement, good. If not, write to the next person. If you don't have many friends, go out more often alone. I often still go out alone and always try to meet someone. But to get to know someone, you need to be able to scratch your tongue well. That's why today I'm going to share my experience, which helped me to win everyone I want. To begin with, it's worth understanding if the person is in the mood for a conversation. In general, you should ask if the person would like to talk to you. If he's okay with it, we go on. If not, leave him alone. You don't have to be too annoying if you're not handsome. Now it's time to become an interesting conversationalist, and there's a trick to this. An interesting conversationalist is someone who listens more than talks. Often people just throw words around without even hearing what they want to convey. That's why it's so hard to communicate these days. Let them talk and you listen. Maybe you'll hear some dirt on someone. Who knows, it might come in handy in the future. Okay, now it's time to talk. First, you have to ask questions that can't be answered with a yes or no. So I'm going to ask you, are you subscribed to the channel? You can answer no or yes. But if I say, how come you're not subscribed to my channel? And if the person is in the mood, they'll say a lot of things. And if they're not, they'll politely send you off. It can be hard to draft these questions at first, so you can memorize a couple of examples to use as a template. Instead of, did you have breakfast today? What did you have for breakfast today? Instead of, are you going to work out? When are you going to work out? It's a bit tricky, but it's a very good communication aid to pull out useful information that we use for sort of interesting questions. When you have got to know the interlocutor better, to increase your interest as an interlocutor, you can ask in-depth questions. Instead of 1,000 words, here's an example. The interlocutor says he likes to swim. You ask, what kind of swimming do you do? He replies, I like freestyle and often do it in the pool. And then you ask him how often he goes there, where the pool is located, who he goes with. That's all you need to be a good conversationalist. But in order not to make it not too much like an interrogation, you can at times diffuse the atmosphere with jokes or a sudden change of topic. I hope I don't have to explain. The way to make yourself listened to. You do not want to pretend to be listened to, but actually heard. A lot of us won't be listened to because of our appearance. And if you think this is a joke, answer this. Would you listen to a homeless person or Donald Trump? Image is one of the most important points to be listened to, so stop wearing rags. Buy yourself some nice clothes. It's better to have a few nice things than a lot of junk. What benefit do people get while they're listening to you? If you talk rubbish, it's clear why they don't listen to you. After all, why waste time on fools? So say useful things for the majority. If someone has a problem, start by partly telling a way to solve it, then tell them what you wanted to do, and then end with a way to sort out the problem. I may sound like a nut right now while I'm saying all this, but it's true. It is worth understanding that to start a conversation with a greeting is too banal, and if you go straight to business, too abrupt. It is better to start a dialogue with interaction. You can ask something, help with something, accidentally push. There are many other more creative ways. Why is this necessary? It's simple. The person needs to be focused on you. If he is not, you cannot even talk. He will not hear anything. Therefore, capture the attention at any cost. You can even somehow scare the interlocutor. The main thing, to be noticed, and then do everything you learned earlier. In my time, I couldn't understand how to communicate for a long time, and I did everything wrong. I asked closed questions, didn't listen, constantly changed the topic, looked sloppy, not bad, but it could be better. Again, communication is the foundation of socializing. Without it, it's like swimming in the sea without water. It's hard to even imagine such a thing. That's why there's another one of my secret methods for getting into someone else's company. It's how I became captain of the basketball team. Let me tell you what I did to get a stranger to become captain. Rest assured, this story is more valuable than you think. Let me start by saying that I was playing as a loner, but our coach noticed me and offered me a professional path. It seemed interesting to me at the time, so I started training. The first day I came to the training and I didn't know anything or anyone yet. We were practicing in a separate room and I was a bit uncomfortable. I met the coach and he took me to the changing room where I changed and came to the court where everyone was already gathered. And that's where I got into action, even though I didn't think where it would lead. To begin with, I got acquainted with everyone without exception, even the girls. And during the training, I was constantly communicating with them, using the principles I mentioned earlier. And due to the fact that I became the best conversationalist in the team, even without having the best skills, I took the position of captain simply by gaining sympathy among the team. Of course, I then quit the sport, but many rookies still ask me to come back. That's how good I was. Even the coach didn't mind me starting from scratch. Well, that makes sense. I just got everyone's support and I won in the end. But the problem was, it's a classic story. I mean, there's always that person who gets under your skin, right? Everyone probably has that type, always dissatisfied, clinging to the little things, jealous, or just creating unnecessary tension. You know the feeling? Well, listen to how I dealt with it. First and most importantly, don't go for conflict. If you start snapping back, proving something head-on, or responding with aggression, it will only drive you into an endless circle of hostility. And who needs that? That's not what I did. Instead of wasting energy on bickering, I started working with his environment. Yeah, that's right. I started talking normally to his friends. No pomp, no sycophancy. Just showing my good side. And you know what? Gradually, they started treating me well. And then there was a chain reaction. His friends in their conversations with him mentioned one way or another, he seems to be a normal guy, and he is generally adequate. We hung out with him, nothing like that. And he started to think, though not immediately, maybe I was wrong to blame him. Over time, his attitude towards me began to change. He no longer put sticks in the wheels, did not poke fun at me for nothing, and then began to communicate normally. All because his environment gently but surely inclined him to it.